Prosperity is productivity, not just hard work. You can be very hardworking and still be broke if you are not productive. Your life condition today is an outcome of choices and decisions made in time past. Good choices, bad choices, easier choices, or no choices at all.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
Lagos, Nigeria's megacity. One of the most dynamic, unrestrained, and energetic expressions of free market capitalism and do-it-yourself entrepreneurship on the planet.
When you have a place of 20 million people, they have to eat, they have to wear clothes, they have to do all sorts of things. I mean, Lagos is a testimony to the resilience and to the ingenuity of the Nigerian spirit.
Buy, sell, trade, hustle, and claw. Make your own way, any way you can.
Nobody does any one job in this country.
They say you have to have 3 hustles.
Yes. You see people making watches from scraps. There are people who make shoes. I'm wearing something that's made by a Nigerian. I provide my own water. I provide my own power because I have a generator, I have an inverter. There's an energy in Lagos, the hustle and the bustle.
Nigeria, it's your boy MC on this one. Oh, oh.
With a ridiculously overburdened infrastructure and a history of egregiously bent leadership, they long ago learned that ain't nobody gonna help you in this war. Pick up a broom, a hammer, buy a taxi or a truck, build a bank or a billion-dollar company, and get to work.
I will push myself, I will do what I need to do, I'll do whatever it takes to take care of myself and my family.
Am I on Victoria Island right now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is the promised land.
This is Manhattan.
Victoria Island, the Garden of Dreams, where the winners work and play. There's money in Nigeria, lots of it, mostly from oil, agriculture, and services like banking. Lagos alone is the 5th largest economy in Africa. 9,000 millionaires and billionaires, many of Africa's richest people, live here.
50 years ago, there were 300,000 people in Lagos. There are now
Almost 20 million.
Around 20 million.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of people leaving wherever they were,
Yep.
coming to the big city, looking to get a job, looking to make it big.
Absolutely.
The smartest, the fastest, the best, the brightest, make it over here.
Yep. It's that place. It'll make you or it'll break you, sink or swim.
Sheena Peller owns Quillox, one of Africa's most exclusive nightclubs.
I built the nightclub by myself, my construction company.
Banky Wellington is an artist and businessman.
I'm a record label owner, I'm an actor, I'm a director, I do videos and TV commercials, I'm in advertising, I'm in real estate. I'm training to be a chef.
Why work so hard? I mean, you don't have to hustle. Your life is good, business is good. Why are you doing so many things?
That is just something that is common in Nigeria, you know.
There's the eternal Nigerian optimism that tomorrow is going to be better
Where
than
does that
today.
come from? Why are Nigerians so optimistic?
I think that it's born out of necessity. You know, you're either going to make it or you're going to be screwed. You almost don't have a choice. You need to be trying everything possible. I must make it. I must be successful.
Right over there, Victoria Island, that's the Nigerian dream, right? If I just hustle enough, if I figure out a way, I have a master plan, God's help, I'm going to end up over there. It's close. It's really close. How do you get from here to there?
It's impossible. The government and the people in power made poor people perpetually poor.
This is the other Lagos, Makoko, a city within a city.
This community has been in existence for over 100 years.
This used to be a little fishing village.
Yeah.
People started showing up, no plan, build your own house.
It's a community that has been built not based on government plan. It is an ingenuity of the people.
How many people live here?
The whole waterways.
The whole waterway.
The whole waterways will be about 100,000 people.
Ọkàn tó kú ojú ọgbọ̀n ẹ̀rín ẹ bá délé mi o ẹ kí bàbá mi fún mi ẹ bá délé mi o ẹ kí yeye mi fún mi ẹ bá délé mi o ẹ bá mi kọ́mọ lọ́gbọ̀n nílé ìṣẹ́rí.
It's a fully functioning community. I've seen barbershops, restaurants, groceries, hotels,
Hospital, private schools.
Self-made, self-run, self-policing, independent of everything. It exists because it has to.
I mean, there's electricity, there's the water, all of this you provide, yes?
Yes, we provide.
Edauto Agbeniji is a musician and activist.
This community started from nothing. Now it's booming and the government is coming to seize it.
They want to get you out, right?
Yes.
They like to build hotels.
Yes.
Yami Mesu, the son of a neighborhood leader.
But they've been forced to stop.
No, it's not. They're not stopping. We've been able to halt them. 2-3 weeks ago, there was another community on the other side of Lagos. On the island, was also demolished.
They just come and demolish.
The people living here, their source of livelihood depends on fishing. They are fisher people. So if you take them to the mainland, it's like taking the fish out of water.
Out of water. You can't survive. You can't survive. You can't survive.
What do we got here?
Okay, this is called moyo.
Moyo.
We eat it with this cassava flake. We call it eba.
All right.
And here we call it gali.
That looks good. Good. Delicious. All the children I see.
Yeah.
Go to school. What will they do? Will they stay here and take up the family business, or are they going to move on?
Well, some will grow up to become accountants, they'll become professionals. But what would a lawyer do? What would an accountant do when there is no food? Most of the fishes that are being sold to the rich men in government were actually taken from this village.
Right.
We need people that do fishing, do farming.
But you're going to need lawyers.
Definitely.
You're going to need...
Everybody needs everybody.
To do well in business, don't just be religious, be hardworking, and be full of ideas. You need all these to birth a real miracle.
The Computer Village.
Yes, this is Computer Village. It's your tech hub. They sell everything here. Mobile phones, computers, any kind of digital equipment you're looking for, this is where to find it. It's said to be a $2 billion market.
Public money is generated in Lagos not so much by oil, but by the free market. A Wild West free-for-all of private enterprise.
It grew organically, not by government intervention.
It just happened.
It just happened. Everything is cramped into this small ecosystem. You have one small store, somebody selling mobile phones right in it, and in front of him you have another guy who's selling applications for the phones, a repair guy, he's right there, and it works. That's the amazing thing about it.
Tunji Andrews is a journalist, radio host, and an expert on the Nigerian economy.
The guys who fascinate me are these kids sitting there with phones all opened up. Like, if I want my iPhone repaired in New York, I have to go to the Apple store, I gotta wait online, I gotta say goodbye to my phone for a while. But here, they know how to take apart my iPhone, fix it, and put it back together.
This is how the Computer Village ecosystem works, right? A young boy trying to make a better life for himself finds his way to Lagos, and one of his brothers, his uncles, is working here, and then he starts to learn how to repair mobile phones, right?
Right.
And sometimes I tend to think they do it with trial and error. So your phone might be just a practice.
Right.
Yeah.
But they get there eventually.
They get there eventually. And that's the success story of almost all the people you see here. Most of them came into this particular market with nothing. Okay, this is Stella's kitchen.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna get some food.
Exactly.
Pounded yam is the ubiquitous starch of Nigerian cuisine. Here served with egusi soup. A stew of goat meat, melon seeds, fish stock, and chilies.
This is very, very good. So I've heard this market described as the perfect market. Now, what does that mean?
Right here, you can find on the same street about 20 people doing exactly the same thing. So you go to the first guy and you say, hey, I want to repair my phone. He says, okay, I can do it for you at 5,000 naira. Now, all you have to do is look across the road and find somebody who can do exactly the same thing. And he knows that, right? So he starts to think to himself, I better give him the best price I can possibly give him
Right.
so that I can get his market.
Completely unregulated as far as prices.
Completely unregulated.
So it's really the free market at its purest.
Exactly. Lagos has been able to grow and expand its borders, and that comes from the sweat of people on the street.
Right.
Once government interferes in private activity, more often than not, they make it more complex, and they move it towards extinction.
Let's go,
A lot of people are outside the tax net, so
Right.
the state government has to be very ingenious in trying to get taxes.
Right.
Who really runs the streets? The de facto front line of law and order are area boys.
The government tries to get people on the street, like the foot soldiers.
An area boys crew levels street taxes on, well, everything. Reporting to their regional boss, a king of boys.
This is our boss. This is our youth leader.
Taxis, buses, any target of opportunity pays.
You don't depend on government, fine, but you're running your own business.
Right.
So you pay a bribe, because that's the only way to get things done. Every person seems to be tainted a little.
Police, politicians, business leaders, everybody gets their piece of the action. It's a daily fact of life in Lagos.
This is a big oil-rich country. Why doesn't it look like Dubai?
Well, I hate to be on this show and talk Nigeria down. You know what it is? Because you hear all these things all the time. So yes, there is corruption. It is about corruption. It's about the fact that the resources that are supposed to be used for people aren't being used for people.
Kadaria Ahmed is a progressive journalist, editor, and TV host who moderates the presidential debates.
Years of military rule meant that people were brutalized. There was a fight against thinking.
There was an anti-intellectual movement where
Absolutely.
you were punished for...
Shamed
for
Yes.
reading, for having an education, for aspiring to those
So
things.
yeah, you saw a decline in education that continued for 30 years. The biggest obstacle in this country is the political class. Because what we've had, in Nigeria is, if you lose elections, you then jump to the other party and you win elections. And then if you lose, you go back to this other party. So it's the same people. They're going to fight tooth and nail to stay in office and to keep the system the way it is.
Pepper soup is the food of the night and dark places. It burns. It burns real good.
Delicious. This is a very IT-savvy country. Nigerian internet scammers are world-renowned now.
They're a tiny minority, I must tell you.
It may not be a legitimate enterprise, but you've got some very smart, hardworking people.
They're very talented. Imagine if they were all well-educated, if they had access to finance. I believe if you're a black person, whether you're African or you're African-American, you're never going to get any respect unless there's a successful black nation.
It is unwise to hold other people, your employer, or even the government accountable for your success.
That is the only way people are going to respect you.
You must do it
Yourself.
Queen Elizabeth came to Nigeria in 1959. The 33 million people of England's most prosperous African colony were ready for independence.
A friend of mine sends me a text and says, are you aware of Nigerian psych rock of the 70s?
Yeah, there was a war in the late 60s. That caused a whole shift in the sound because before the war it was highlight. And after the war, it was rock and all sorts of sounds.
mind-blowing, like amazing stuff.
This was a game changer.
It's as if everybody took acid at the same time.
It was less the acid and more, let's just freak out.
These new sounds, mutations on funk, jazz, and rock, marked an explosive change in Nigerian culture.
How did it do when it came out?
It was wildfire. It was,
really? Was it?
It was a massive hit.
Temi Castro is a collector and aficionado.
This is really where it started from. Blow. They had a very trippy song, which I'll play for you.
Yeah, let's hear it. This is freaky.
That shift in music had to do a lot with the war.
Nigeria's rebel eastern state, the Republic of Biafra, declared its independence.
That music was needed to translate the darkness.
Soldiers of the breakaway province suffered heavy casualties and ultimate defeat. 1,000 Biafrans a day died of starvation.
The music was a defiant middle finger to war, to corruption, and repressive military rule.
You know how military dictators try and control everything.
But of all the music of the time, nothing and nobody took it directly to the people in such explicitly confrontational terms as Afrobeat and its architect, Fela Kuti.
The government were giving Fela a hard time because he was protesting by name specific things. I mean, they identified him as an existential threat, and he was. People would show up at the shrine.
Exactly.
Like, what's he going to say? What's he mad about today?
Fela was an African superstar, a loud, persistent, and unwavering voice of opposition and resistance.
People protesting, but they didn't name names. But Fela would name names and say, you know, you're the...
For one decade, Fela's voice was the only voice here, opposing the dictators. And he paid a very high price. His house was burned. He was stopped from playing.
Fela died in 1997 of AIDS after a social life that could be best described as complicated. He married 27 wives in one day, for instance, but he left behind an enormous legacy and a family, including 2 internationally celebrated musicians in their own right, Femi and Seun Kuti.
Because of Fela, we are able to voice our feelings today.
If things are not right, you can't just gloss over it. There is no reason why this country cannot be 10 times better.
Daughter Yenny runs this place, the New Africa Shrine.
We have more money, we have more oil, but we have bad leaders.
Both a musical venue and political pulpit, with a vital position at the epicenter of Nigerian music.
So you drink beer?
Especially when Anthony is drinking beer, I'm drinking beer too.
How can you say because he's drinking beer, you're drinking beer?
I'm a fan.
Of him drinking beer?
No, of him. No, I'm a fan of beer too, but you know, he's drinking beer, I'm drinking beer.
You grew up at your dad's compound, and I know at one point he wanted you to become an area boy, and he thought that that would be good street cred.
That's to put it kind of mild. He just wanted me to be, like, from the streets.
We've been running into area boards constantly through this week. And I kind of want to know how the structure works.
If you wanted to go for election, for instance, you will need to see all the area boys. You'll have to give a lot of money for him to get all his gang members to vote for you. And if you do a good job in dealing with this, you probably would win.
That's not quite democracy, though, is it?
No, it's not. Nigeria is not really a democratic state.
Struggle music, struggle sounds, struggle people, struggle now. Struggle music, struggle sound, struggle people, struggle now. Struggle music, struggle sound.
What is going on in Africa today for me, I think, is a perverse kind of hopelessness. Working for a system that is oppressing you, and you know it's oppressing you, but you've given up that there's nothing I can do about it.
I mean, is that what you've seen? Because honestly,
Yeah.
I've never been in a country where everybody are working so hard at something.
They're hustling.
They're hustling. Look, I've been to the DRC, to Goma and Kisangani, and those were not hopeful places.
Yeah, but Nigeria is the same way as DRC in the north, huh? Because we have the Boko Haram insurgency, people are being killed, but nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to act as if it's as serious as, because Nigeria, we play the game. We are the kings of the game. We were so proud when Nigeria arrived in Kenya for the African Summit because we brought the most amount of private jets. You understand? This is their mentality. They are all elitist. You know, they have yachts. You know, in a country where 90% live in poverty.
It's self-esteem.
Self-esteem?
Yes. That's, I see
It's
that
about what you own.
I see
that.
No,
I don't think your
see.
self-esteem is about what you can buy.
Excuse
it should
me,
not be tied
it's not
about
what he
what
said.
you can afford.
As much as Nigeria is bad, there is hope. When I grew up, we were like caged in. We couldn't sit here like this. The police will come here and beat everybody up. A generation will come where they will say, enough is enough. Let's take back our lives.
Femi Kuti for president.
Don't listen to him.
FKFP, Nigeria resistance.
Struggle sound like the weapon of the future. Struggle sound like the weapon of the future.
It is the melody of the angels of death. Do not be afraid.
The Hausa are the largest tribal group in Nigeria. Known originally as cattlemen, they have become powerful politically as well. This is Dembe boxing, a very old and very brutal fighting art, deeply ingrained in Hausa traditions, particularly among the butcher class. It is a way for tough young men to earn a few bucks.
We are Africa, man!
Prove themselves and break up the grim routine of their daily lives.
All Hausa versus Hausa.
Yeah, Hausa versus Hausa.
You hit with one hand.
Yeah, and the other one is to block.
welcome you to the Hausa community, Agege. Sitting beside you is the Emir of Agege.
You are welcome to our humble family.
Thank you.
Interreligious and intertribal violence has been a fact of life for years in Nigeria. There are over 300 tribes, and tens of thousands have died during such conflicts. In Lagos, some are trying to rewrite that narrative. The neighborhood of Agege is a melting pot of different tribes and religious groups.
This was originally a Yoruba area, yes?
Yes.
But the Hausa people have been living here for a very, very
Yes,
long
for a
time,
long
cooperating
time.
very...
154 years ago.
There are intermarriages in between us and them. So that is why there are a lot of understanding.
Masa, rice cakes made from Nigerian sticky rice, sugar, and potash, a mineral-rich salt.
This is fura. It's made from millet and milk.
It's more like a yogurt, a little slightly sour.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
This is one of the surprising foods. It's also made of beans.
This is all beans?
Yes.
Danwake, high-protein bean flour dumplings served with tomatoes, onions, and a peppery sauce.
Delicious.
The moringa.
And moringa salad, made from the leaves of the zogala tree and said to have medicinal properties. Kuli-kuli powder is a garnish or condiment made from ground peanuts.
What do you see the future of this area and your people?
Anything relies on education. We promote both Western and Arabic knowledge. The whole Africa or even the whole world is represented in Lagos, so we have to work together. The Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he lived with Christians and Jews peacefully without any problem. We believe if there is no peace, there will be no progress. You cannot go to mosques, you cannot go to church, you cannot go to school, you cannot go to work.
We love Lagos, we love peace. And we pray to Almighty Allah to continue living in peace. God bless Lagos. God bless Nigeria.
Good cooking takes time. As more and more Lagosian men and women enter the workforce, fewer and fewer cook the old way. Long, low and slow preparations that can take hours.
The Lagos upbeat style makes it impossible for you to cook everything at home. So you go, you buy from the street.
So who blogs about food here?
We all do. We all blog
All
about.
of
Yeah.
Atim, her mom, Iku, and friend Oz are all hard workers, holding down multiple jobs between them. But they hang on to their fierce love of food and cooking.
Who were your readers?
Primarily Nigerians.
Homesick Nigerians also, I would think, in the States.
particularly homesick. Yeah. But then people that are married to Nigerians that want to learn the cuisine.
These days, one often eats quickly at a place like this. Yakoyo, serving traditional Nigerian dishes made the way they should be made.
This is called ewedu. It's jute leaf.
Ewedu is a soup from the Yoruba tribe. Crayfish, chilies, locust beans, and jute leaves.
This is good.
Have you had jollof rice?
It's rice cooked with...
Tomato sauce.
Spiced tomato sauce. Yeah. It's almost like Spanish red rice.
Jollof rice, a staple across West Africa. Country of origin? Don't get into that issue. It's contentious. All I can tell you is it's delicious.
Now, who runs these businesses?
You walk in and you see an old lady sitting by the corner. Yeah. Her eyes are darting. Yeah. You know, she's checking, she's counting tables. You know, has the girl brought back my money? Yeah. So she sits there to control her money.
In the back, you see a guy cooking big batches to refill.
Yeah. Okay. This is pounded yam.
Of course. This I've seen.
And this is amala.
Pounded and cooked, kind of like this.
No.
This is yam, raw, sliced, ground into a flour, and then cooked into a meal. A bit like grits.
Yes. It's about what you want, how you want to combine it.
Thank you. So you don't tilt your glass when you're pouring there?
I do, I'm just lazy. Man, you guys are harsh.
No.
I'm gonna be reading about myself on your blog. He's an animal at the table. Food here is really, really good.
We're seeing quite a bit of evolution going on. We're not all sit-at-home moms anymore. Not many people want to pound yam. She certainly does not want to pound yam. And I'm sure when she's getting married, one of her gifts to her husband's house would not be a mortar and a pestle.
Unlike 20 or 30 years ago.
It would be a food processor, most likely.
Right.
And personally, I think maybe women my generation might have failed people like her by not passing things on. But now, thanks to food bloggers, the younger ladies have an avenue to get this information without depending on their mom.
How much interest in food is there these days? More?
More. Nigerians are big on meat.
Yeah.
So when you see that we have a few vegan chefs, people.
Wow, vegans.
Yes. in Nigeria, I think that shows you just how much people are finding their niches.
Yeah. But that's for a certain social class. The bulk of the people still, they don't have access to the internet. They don't care.
Yeah, that's the
guy just wants to fill his tummy for the day, So yeah, food is changing, but it's not a revolution yet.
Kids with no education. Now they're fixing iPhones.
And imagine if they were all well educated.
They say that where there's a will, there's a way. And there is plenty of will in Nigeria. Find a niche, create a business, build a home, a school, a community, or look beyond to creating a new society. Andela, co-founded by Ayanolawa Aboyele and run in Nigeria by Seni Suleiman, is a rigorous training program that teaches coders and engineers with the goal of creating no less than a continent-wide ecosystem of high-value software developers.
My mom had a mobile shop, something like what's in Computer Village, and that's where I grew up. She'll sell mobile phones, they'll fix it there, and she just used to run that.
I tried looking for a job, but the jobs I got, I'm like, no, I don't want to be a salesperson, I don't want to be a secretary. So that's why I got to know programming.
Shalom and Blessing are trainees in the program, people who will someday rewrite the way Africa works.
As you can see, there are a lot of issues in Nigeria today. The average Nigerian is struggling to just food, water, clothing, shelter. We all believe that this will change, and we all believe that we'll change that. In the US, for every software developer that's looking for a job, there are 5 openings, which means there's a massive opportunity to get these awesome people who are really smart and really driven to be ready to take on Africa's challenges.
But that's what's special about this place. Most people are kind of resigned to the reality that they have. We're creating an alternate reality where there's always going to be power for you to do your work.
Africa, it should be stressed, is home to 7 of the 10 fastest growing internet populations in the world, with a huge, young, and mostly untapped labor pool of eager and ambitious people.
The impact in very short period of time is incredible. Before we started, people would rarely hire African developers, and now they can.
Many of us have been products of multinational experiences. So I grew up in Nigeria, spent time in Paris, went to the US, and eventually I came back home. We're all connected. We know what's happening around the world. And you ask yourself, if that's happening literally just a few hours by plane away from here, why is it not happening here? Well, technology is going to change this continent.
There is no other place in the world where you have the opportunity to build the future from scratch.
Where will Lagos be in 10 years? Or 20? Change is inevitable. The problem's enormous. But the desire, the hope is there. To change not just Nigeria, but the world.
We've got all the conditions for a revolution.
Don't just build a CV, build a life. Be better in real life than on paper.
Seattle, a city with a collective identity constantly in flux, always changing. But what it's always been and continues to be is a magnet for creators to come experiment and to make their own. Oh, and weed is legal here.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
Seattle has always been a place where you can go to reinvent yourself. It's a place that on the surface would seem to require commitment. Famously gray, rainy, not particularly friendly, and all the way up there in the far corner of the country. A place you could get work in the aircraft industry or make music or, rather notoriously, become a serial killer. Whether outfitting prospectors during the Alaskan gold rush or looking for some kind of cred from the music scene. It's always boom or bust. Now it's a new kind of boom. Microsoft, Google, Twitter, Expedia, and Amazon are the big dogs in town. A flood of them, tech industry workers, mostly male, derisively referred to as tech boys or tech bros, rapidly changing the DNA of the city, rewiring it to satisfy their own newly empowered nerdly appetites. Meet our new apple martini drinking overlords.
Tech boys! Tech boys! Tech boys! Tech boys! With your mustache and your paycheck and your blue badge and your lipstick, with your mouth full of the party line and your weekends working all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time.
Fish and chips is the thing, right?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Astra, Elaine, and Dustin Patterson are members of the local band, The Gods Themselves. They wrote a song about the new kids in town. Pacific Inn Pub is a holdout, a place that has so far managed to resist the temptation to appease the invaders. For lunch, fish and chips.
You know, bitter old fucks like me are, of course, going to complain anytime we hear about, you know, a lot of high-fiving white guys coming to town. And yet you've created this sort of iconic hate anthem. Can you tell the tech people from the non-tech people?
Yeah, they have the badges.
Neutral colored clothing. They're kind of easy to spot. They have a walk.
They have a walk.
Yeah. They're just all the same. There's nothing that really stands out about them. They're so dull. Dating apps are really big here. I have a few girlfriends who have dated a couple of tech boys.
Is there personal hygiene an issue?
Like the nerdier tech boys will have that smell, that mildewy smell. You know what I'm talking about?
Wow, you really have a low opinion of these people.
Well, we're generalizing now, Tony.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Everybody in Seattle's a musician, a serial killer, or a chef, as far as I'm concerned, so. In a lot of ways, I mean, this was always a company town. You know, Boeing, before Boeing, it was a logging town. I mean, the new company is tech. And it is flooding money into the place. I look out my hotel room window, and I mean, there's cranes as far as the eye can see.
You realize, like, okay, all those cranes out there, they're for high-rise condos. They're for a certain type of person. They're envisioning a certain type of future for the city, and it's tech people.
Or, you know, somebody who likes to drive around and pick up hitchhikers and dismember them.
Capitol Hill is Seattle's established neighborhood, going back to the mid-1960s. Old school cool, but with every passing day, change. The Hill has become the new weekend stomping ground of breeders from the tech companies, and the locals are displeased. John Criscatello, street artist, is waging a one-man war against the rent hikes that are pushing people like him out of the neighborhood.
Are we talking about an infestation of tech bros?
Well,
is this, what, 10 years ago, would this be a gay neighborhood?
It was sort of enclave for artists and for queer people.
And so what's happening now?
Or big tech corporations that have moved into the city. People need someplace to live, so a lot of development companies bought up every corner. If they keep this sort of facade, they can build taller. So this was just this, and then they plunk this down in the center.
So they're keeping the character of the neighborhood
they
sort
call
of,
it
kind of.
façadomy. I've heard it termed façadomy. Problem, of course, is that rents double. So what you used to be able to get a studio apartment for $700, now all of a sudden the entry point is $1,500, which is considerable for artists, anybody. You know, that's the sort of lament now is, where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go?
Right. So all these outsiders are coming in, renting expensive apartments. What kind of businesses are opening to accommodate these new arrivals?
Well, in this neighborhood, that construction over on that side is a Whole Foods.
Oh, no, that's a sign of the apocalypse.
That is the end.
That's the official indicator that the neighborhood is fucked.
That's it right there.
Because of the boom and everything that's been happening, you do have that kind of have and have-nots here. And I think there's an identity crisis where people are starting to really question what is Seattle and who is it? But historically, you go back to the 90s, I mean, it was the city of grunge. And now I would say it's the city of geeks. And it's boomtown right now.
And yeah, this kind of boom does happen in other places, but then again, it doesn't.
John Cook and Todd Bishop of GeekWire, an industry-leading news site that started covering the tech industry back in 2011. Lunch is at Revel, right down the street from their offices. The chef is Rachel Yang, and the food is Korean. To eat, cilantro noodles, yu choy, and thinly sliced flat iron steak. Kimchi pancakes with braised pork belly and bean sprouts. marinated short rib rice bowl with house sambal, daikon, kimchi, and egg. And short rib dumplings topped with pickled shallot and scallion salad.
Of course, I'm hearing from a lot of people who are bemoaning the loss of the old Seattle.
Right.
This invasion of outsiders.
Certainly the community is going through a lot of growing pains, and there's an element of the city here that is rebelling against the progress, especially as we talk about a company like Amazon that controls massive amounts of the downtown real estate footprint now. And that's what scares a lot of people here, including myself, because I see how the trends of history change, especially in technology, that one day Microsoft's hot, the next day Apple's hot, now Amazon's hot. They go through these cycles and they don't always live through them. And we're left with a city that's totally transformed because of it.
What percentage of the total dollar-generating space on the internet is occupied by porn?
Well, you know, this is Todd's expertise, so I'll defer to him.
Historically, the adult industry, even if it's not completely dominating the economics all the time, it is the leader of technology. It's the first with HD. It's the first to try out a new wave of 3D technology, virtual reality, augmented reality, and you see it over and over again. The latest is VR and AR.
Yeah. Do you know that do you know the #1 search term on porn websites for the Seattle area? Stepmom. What's the fuck their stepmom? Jesus.
Jen McEwen and Jesse Adams are two nice people who've chosen the porn business as a way to make a living. They launched My Candy, the world's first mobile app store for masturbators and aficionados of graphic erotica. But they are looking ahead, the next levels of porn. Personalized, interactive, virtual reality porn. And I can tell you, my friends, it's chillingly realistic.
Generally speaking, who are your customers demographically?
Mostly male. But yeah, they're coming from all over the world.
Right.
They're looking for more unique experiences, and I think that's why VR is very important for them. And just also a lot of people who say they discovered their sexuality and their identity through stuff like this.
What the adult industry is really good at is wherever your specific interest is, we'll find the exact person for you. Well, the exact piece of content.
Like Amazon does.
Yeah.
So Tony, based on your previous purchases, you know, we can recommend the following stepmom-related materials.
So you want to see some VR porn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. Now, should I look behind me? Because I don't want to get spit roasted here. Oh, okay.
Hey there.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of scary. It's good.
Weed, smoke, ganja, reefer. Call it what you will, it's marijuana. Oh, I could go on all day. Long story short, Washington State legalized weed in 2012. And I plan to make the most of it while scrupulously adhering to the lay of the law, like I always do. The options available in places like this, Emerald Haze, are mind-boggling.
Well, how can I help you out today?
Well, where to begin?
Where to begin?
There is a dizzying array of products. You got dozens of strains of bud, oils to vape, weed-infused edibles, mints, syrups, ointments, probably lube. Remind me to ask. My advice, don't even try to shop stoned. Decision-making was never, in my case, a strong point while baked.
Which Which is sleepy? I forget. Is it indica or sativa that's peppy? The other one is sleepy.
The indica will put you into couch. That was going to be your sleepy body high.
Right.
Sativa is going to be more of your awake, alert high, kind of mostly feeling it in the head.
Right, like crouched in the bathroom in a fetal position, paranoid?
Not like that crazy.
Okay, good. I think let's do some of both.
Some of both?
Yeah. What do you have on offer here?
Do have a deal on our pack of 3 today from Hollingsworth, which they had the blueberry kush, the Alaskan thunderfuck, and then also a Dutch treat, which will be more of a hybrid.
I mean, I have to. Alaskan thunderfuck. I mean, you kind of have to. This is from our friends at.
Yeah, these are from Hollingsworth, which is very nice.
Two hours outside of Seattle lies Hollingsworth Cannabis Company Farm. The woods are alive with, well, weed. Rows and rows of weed, carefully grown and tended to by one family. Third-generation Seattleites, the Hollingsworths. And at the helm of the company, these guys, brother and sister duo, Raft and Joy Hollingsworth.
Oh, hi! Didn't see you there.
Wait, hold on. Oh, hi. Didn't see you there.
Didn't see you there. It's 2015, then you say the rest of the shit.
No, I can't remember.
Okay, we're gonna do it.
I'm Joy Hollingsworth. I got it.
Oh, hi. Say it, say it.
Let's take a closer look, shall we?
While some corporate outfits are rushing to cash in on the new crop, the Hollingsworth Cannabis Company is doing it a slower, more personal way. Solar-powered greenhouses, hand-trimmed buds, and hand-packed bags ensure the freshest and highest quality of chronic. They're keeping it all in the family. Raft runs the manufacturing and growing. Joy does the processing and sales. Auntie came out of retirement to assist with the oil cartridges. Dad puts labels on the packaging, and Mom fills the ready rolls and assists in quality control. As I will, and have, and will again. Back in the city, Mamnoon Restaurant on Melrose.
Have you been here before?
Absolutely. This is a good spot. How you doing?
I've been smoking some of your products, so if I'm a little unfocused.
Before this, you did?
What's that?
Before this?
Before this, yeah.
He said, what?
Mamnoon is a modern take on traditional Syrian and Lebanese food, and it's done well. There's Baharat spiced beef and lamb kebabs, fried cauliflower with tahini, a summer fateh with local squash and charred tomatoes topped with sizzling brown butter and pine nuts. That's sweet and sour rice wrapped in grape leaves.
This looks so good.
The hummus is great.
It's my favorite cuisine.
So how's business?
It's been an interesting 3 years because I feel like every year we've been like refining the process and trying to get better. We're the little guys.
Right now, we're mom and pop.
Yeah, we're the mom and pop. But see, the difference is Washington State set up the law to try to help mom and pops get started.
How did you convince the family? This must have seemed like a sketchy venture.
Yeah.
It's a gamble.
Raph said, hey, I got a family meeting. I need you here tonight. And we're all sitting there, and he puts on his little PowerPoint on the TV, and it's about 32 pages. And he tells us, hey, we need to go to Mason County, grow a ton of weed. And we're all like, what are you talking about? And my mom raises her hand, and she goes, wait, I have something really important. We all look at her, and she goes, I want to be R&D. Can I smoke and tell you if the weed is good? And then all of a sudden, he starts moving.
My business plan ended at get a license. To get a license, it was to build a fence, put up some cameras,
right,
and get out the way. And they'll come, give you a final inspection, and now you are licensed to grow weed in the state of Washington.
How many people grow weed, do you think, in the Seattle, Washington State region?
There's a lot. There's over 1,100 producer processors in Washington State. and about 400 licensed retail stores.
Weed, everybody smokes weed.
There's so many people of all different types that smoke weed. We did a store visit, and we saw people come in and out. Grandmas, moms, professionals. Like, I'm sure if that store took demographics of their clientele, they would have a spectrum of different type of people.
People who like to get high, what do they want these days? There are so many choices.
Our biggest seller, the pre-rolls, people like ready-made cannabis.
People want to buy and get high.
Loose joints.
Loose joints, most people.
Really?
People don't like to roll.
They don't know how to roll joints.
No.
People, teach your children. Well, I mean, this is a basic life skill.
What do you smoke?
Well, I like to smoke, as I said, I like to smoke weed. The Alaskan Thunderfuck is an irresistible package.
Alaskan Thunderfuck?
Yeah.
That's old school Hell's Angels. That's their old school strain.
Did you smoke it?
Yeah, I can't compare and contrast because I've been trying them all one after the other.
Right.
I mean, I was smoking weed since I'm 13.
Right.
You know, all of that shit that was supposed to happen if you smoke too much weed didn't really happen. But looking into my own life, I have seen my ambition. There were things I was thinking about doing, but, once I start smoking some good weed, it's like, yeah.
In a nondescript-looking building in Bellevue, some very smart people are looking into things like how to stop hurricanes before they happen, ending malaria, and how to make the perfect hamburger. Nathan Mervold is the former Chief Technology Officer of Microsoft, a genius, an inventor, and a very wealthy man who's free to indulge his passions, most noticeably for cooking and all things food. Over the last years, he and his team have published an incredibly lavish and authoritative series of books, Modernist Cuisine, dedicated to debunking popular misconceptions and documenting the results with the best high-tech photography and graphic art imaginable. Head chef Francisco Migoya is leading the team into a new mission now, demystifying bread for all of us.
People like me, someone who's cooked his whole life, I live in terror of bread. Anything that rises, in fact, like a horse, senses my fear and insecurity and misbehaves. I'm tenuous with any doughs. I see people who work with it all the time. They're slapping it around like it's nothing. I'm like this, and it always goes wrong on me. It just never quite right. Will your work help me in my...
It will help you, Tony. Bread is actually amazingly robust. Although we've got lots of recipes, recipes aren't as important as understanding sort of the fundamentals of what's going on. And once you do, it's really quite forgiving.
Few things are more mysterious and unknowable than the bagel. Can one perhaps create the perfect bagel and with toppings that don't fall off? As a New Yorker, I'm inclined to say no, but now I'm not sure. And what is this? Bread in a jar? But what?
What is going on here?
This is the kind of sick thing we do. We wondered, could you can bread? By God, you can. This is rumbabas.
Oh, I
which
love
is
them.
a bread in the sense it uses yeast.
Yes.
And we canned them. And now watch what happens when we open it up. Isn't that awesome?
It's really good. And how long will this stay in there?
9 months. And it
so I can have
good?
perfectly fresh bread in 9 months if I just pop the top on that thing. But look, jaded cooks and chefs like me, they still find there are certain unknowables or things that cause them to pause in the kitchen and gaze with wonder at the magic of something like bread. Aren't you afraid that in some way you're doing Satan's work here by quantifying magic? Food is a very romantic thing. It's usually experienced, at best, in an emotional way.
Absolutely.
By explaining it.
Absolutely, it's emotional. Absolutely, it can be art. But knowing how to do it right, to me, doesn't diminish that.
Across the water from my hotel in the Puget Sound, just outside the city limits, the wilderness opens up, and it's beautiful.
Lord of fire in the sky, getting level, neon devil, holy, holy in my mind, to abide and crucify with blue, blue sea. Far away.
On Vashon Island, a clam bake with Dungeness crab, spot prawns, mussels, corn, and potatoes covered in kelp and steamed together under burlap. Old school.
Lord of fire in the sky, getting level, neon devil, holy, holy in my mind, to abide and crucify with blue, blue sea, far away.
Chefs Grant Crilly and Chris Young worked with Nathan at Modernist Cuisine before breaking off to do their own thing, Chef Steps, a high-tech outfit dedicated to help people cook better with step-by-step video apps and interactive content.
Essentially, the way we look at it is our job is to help people cook a meal for their family, cook a meal for their friends where they're happy and didn't know they could cook that well.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of technologists, too. We think, you know, there's a role for technology, but there's also a role for craft and tradition.
I think there's an element of uncertainty and risk that is very exciting to me when I cook. You know, it's the imperfections in life that are most interesting. If everybody knew how to sauce pasta correctly, I don't know that that would make me happier.
The kitchen is a pretty scary place for a lot of people. And so if you can bring technology in that takes that fear away because they know that it's going to come out well, they're going to be happy with the result, that'll get them to cook again. Coming from the guys who, you know, wrote Modernist Cuisine, we're trying to find that 21st century blend between YouTube and Instagram and technology and tools like that with the things that are great about cooking, which is sharing a meal.
I think you're missing a central dynamic here. I mean, why do people Instagram pictures of food? To share their wonderful eating experience? No, it's to make other people feel bad about what they're eating. It's like, look, I'm eating
I agree with that
all
for
these
sure.
incredible crabs, and you're sitting at home in some, you know, dirty underwear eating Doritos. I mean, hopefully.
I mean, Doritos are pretty tasty.
It is probably unfair to suggest that the Pacific Northwest and Seattle area have been home to a disproportionately large number of serial killers. But I'll do it anyway.
Chuck Taylor oysters here.
Wonderful, thank you.
Anything else I can grab you, gentlemen?
I'm good for now.
Good for now? All right, enjoy.
I'm gonna try a fat bastard. That sounds interesting.
Fred Moody is a writer and bartender. Jack Wisner is a transit planner for King County Metro. And Knut Berger is a journalist and columnist for Seattle Weekly. Old school Seattle all. Taylor Shellfish Oyster Bar in Pioneer Square is old school too. The Taylor family has been farming more than 12,000 acres of tidelands in the Puget Sound, Willapa Bay, and the Hood Canal for over 5 generations, since 1890. With 3 restaurants in town, they know what they're doing.
I can eat these whole, head, tail, bones, and all?
Yes.
Whole local smelt, flash fried and served with pepperoncini, sambal aioli. Local Dungeness crab cooked and chilled with pickled ginger sauce. And oysters. Lots of oysters.
Seattle has been, for a very long time, considered one of the more foodie, for lack of a better word, foodie cities.
Yeah.
And you ask people why, generally they say the sheer abundance of really good ingredients.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got the ocean there, you've got cattle country and orchard country just over the mountains.
Yeah.
To say one of the things that's changed in Seattle is there's not just the Pike Place market, but every neighborhood has a market.
Has a green
now.
market.
Yeah, so those entrepreneurs have a place to sell. They can go to all the markets or just some of them. but it's really fantastic.
So everybody born and bred in Seattle?
I was, yeah.
Born here?
Yes.
And Bellingham, which is... Oh, sure, serial killer capital of the world. I was at a bar there where both Ted Bundy and the Green River Killer had been patrons. Yeah.
Bundy was born in Tacoma. And that's
Right.
Yeah,
The Hillside Strangler and also the Beltway Sniper.
Right.
Worst one was the Green River Killer.
Yeah. Why is Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, such a magnet for serial killers? Any theories?
You know, people come here to hide out. They think, well, they look at the map and it's like...
The two mountain ranges are just a couple hours away.
Literally, you can hide bodies like a short drive from wherever you are.
So, convenient body dumping?
Body dumping. I mean, that's got to be part of it. You have all that lush greenery.
You're looking to dump a body. Seattle.
You know, I've always thought the rain was kind of part of it. You get to that stretch from, maybe October to February, and by the time you're in February, I mean, you want to become a serial killer. I mean, you know, it's hard.
Apparently you can.
Is Seattle a teeming hive of serial killers? Or am I just an idiot with a morbidly overactive imagination and an attraction to the dark, ugly side of life? Meet retired homicide detective Mike Szynski, who for over 12 years specialized in cold cases in the region. We meet at the Shanghai Room in Greenwood, where Fred Moody tends bar. The North Star Diner next door provides nourishment. Crab, bacon, and melted cheese is, when discussing dump sites and ligature marks, a must.
Why does it seem that there's a disproportionate number of serial killers in the Seattle and Washington State area? Do you have a theory on this?
Well, I don't think that most serial killers are when shopping for areas where they live. They just where they ended up. When you're a detective for as long as I've been a detective, and you're around very evil people, it's a place where I don't want you to have to come and look at through my eyes. And I could talk to you about it and all that, but I hope you never have to see it like I seen it. Because, you know, it's a different place. It's a place you don't want to be. And
How many working serial killers do you think are out there right now in the Washington State area?
I would say, I mean, easily right now, easily over 75 people out here that are probably serial murderers. The FBI listed as
75.
Oh yeah. I don't care how nice it is here and, you know, fun Seattle and stuff, you know. I know how many evil people are running around here.
So, do you think these guys are holding down regular jobs?
But yeah, they can just go on and have their, you know, regular, what would seem to us as a regular life. They can also have wives.
I always worry about I always wonder about the wives. It's like, don't you notice, you know, the mementos and the unusual odor coming from the crawl space? I mean, what the
John
fuck?
Wayne Gacy, exactly,
I mean,
you know, and dress, what's with the whole clown outfit, John?
I mean, first of all you gotta do is put on a clown suit, and already you're a suspect.
I've given to you, Jane, a torn and tattered love. Do you hear the tolling bells that ring down from above? I thought I'd rule like Charlemagne, but I've become corrupt. Now I crawl the promenade to fill my empty cup, and you're free again, one more time.
Mark Lanigan is, to my mind, one of the greatest living singer-songwriters making music today. His songs and lyrics, reflective of a long, hard life, cut me right down to the bone. His career has spanned 2 decades, beginning with the Screaming Trees in the 90s and continuing through numerous brilliant collaborations with artists like Queens of the Stone Age, PJ Harvey, Kurt Cobain, Uncle, Mad Season, The Gutter Twins, Isabel Campbell, and Massive Attack. Maybe you know him from such theme songs as this show.
Wow. Spicy. Yeah, that's good.
Dinner with Mark and touring guitarist Jeff Fielder at Ocho. in Ballard, where they serve up generous drinks and Spanish-influenced tapas.
You grew up around, what, two hours outside of Seattle?
Yeah, in eastern Washington, which is like countryside, ranching, farming community.
You don't live here anymore. You live in LA now?
Yeah.
How long since you left?
It's been 20 years.
Oh, wow.
But I come back here, you know, a couple times a year, play shows. I still have family in the city, and I think of it as home still, you know. I always will. It's just, it's the home I don't live in anymore.
We put on the long white dress while I burn when there's no more tomorrow. Will you walk with me underground and forget all the sadness and the sorrow? Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da.
So how long have you been playing music professionally?
Well, kind of the whole time, you know. I mean, I played my first gigs when I was 13. Been touring with Mark since about 2010.
What was the first time you were ever on stage? And where was it?
It was in my hometown. I was 15, and some guys I worked in a restaurant with had a band. They were older, and I sang at one pool party that they had.
What was the set list there? Covers or?
A lot of Van Halen.
Oh, wow.
Styx.
Oh, brutal. You have played and play with a lot of different people from different styles of music. I think a lot of musicians I know and have met would have a hard time with that. You seem to move effortlessly around.
I don't know, I've just been blessed with a lot of opportunity. I get to play with a lot of people whose music I really love, so I'm happy. You know, after having been in my own band for many years, and suddenly, like, I'm taking jobs where I'm just playing part of somebody's set. At first, it was a little awkward, but then I grew to really love doing it because it was easy and fun, and there was no pressure. I did that for quite a few years, and I'm available to do that again if anybody wants me.
On the marble street, the procession spills in. At the white seawall, waves crash and crash again. Darkness shining, disappearing. Day follows night, night follows day. Goodbye, goodbye to beauty. Goodbye, goodbye to beauty.
Are you at all sentimental about how Seattle used to be?
You know, I guess it's sort of like being sentimental about grade school or, you know, any time of your life that isn't around anymore. I miss some of the guys that were around then that aren't around anymore, you know, some of my friends. But, you know, that's life.
Goodbye to beauty.
Next to making a proper omelet or like wiping your own ass, knowing how to roll a joint is an essential life skill for any self-respecting member of society, in my view. Pay attention, people.
Can you stay here next to me? We just keep driving. Because of you, I see a light. Yeah, Buick's a century, a 73 like you. Some strange religion. I get my hands on some money, mama, and shot in the night. Stared down the past and just got my eyes. I almost called it a day so many times. Never known what it felt like to be alive. Till you've been a friend to me like nobody else could be. On the wheel now, mama, I'm gonna honestly try. She looked past the scars and the burned out eyes, and could see I'm no easy ride. She's just the kind that might get you by. Some strange religion. These jacket diamonds kicked her heart around. Should've known they were walking on holy ground. And this life might eventually just be the end of me, but I'll still be with you. Next to me, I just keep driving. Because of you, I've been alive. And the Buick's a century, 73 like you. Some strange religion. Buick's a century, 73 like you. Some strange religion.
Let us take you now to the island of short memories and the small village of fat hopes. It hardly featured on any map, but thanks to the civil war of lies, the small village of fat hopes had grown in importance for all the wrong reasons. They spoke in color in the village, as they did in most parts of the country. The cost of living made people purple. People often felt marooned. And the jokes were always black.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Down found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
The war is over. At the old hotel, the .50 caliber in the tower next door is wrapped up and attended by one sleepy guard. The main enemy today is not the soldiers, guerrillas, fighters, and suicide bombers of the LTTE, but the black crows who hover ominously over the breakfast buffet on the veranda. A man with a slingshot patrols the lawn, driving them away with an occasional shot. Colombo, capital city of Sri Lanka. Unlike the last time I came here nearly a decade ago, this South Asian island nation of 20 million does not feel on lockdown. There are no longer the military checkpoints and heavy equipment, sandbags, or barbed wire in between the airport and the center of town. There's a new democratically elected government voted in by a coalition of former adversaries. Everywhere you look, construction, expansion, new hotels, foreign money, something that looks a lot like hope. Hundreds of thousands of dead and missing later, the country is at peace and we can go where we want. Hopefully, people will be able to talk about their lives. Last time, they couldn't.
So this is the golf-based green. It used to be a place for the English families to come and hang out on Sundays. And it was also the home of the first golf course in Sri Lanka. So this is our Central Park.
Ah.
Oh, very good.
What are we eating today, by the way? What's good here?
So this is all Sri Lankan street food. All these kitchens are run by Muslims. So there's no pork dishes here. A lot of seafood.
Darshan runs several popular Colombo restaurants, including the Ministry of Crab. And when not catering to the needs of his customers, he enjoys simpler fare.
So what distinguishes between Sri Lankan cuisine and Indian?
I think our curries are lighter. And I think it's the access to seafood. Like if you look at Mumbai, it's 20 million people.
Right.
The oceans are under pressure. Here it's still clean. We can have access to great seafood anytime.
When did the war get bad?
It got really bad, I think 2005 onwards, it was really bad.
Yeah, we were last here in 2008. I mean, just to get to the hotel, I remember, from the airport, we had to go through one security cordon after another.
I mean, during those times, we had no idea when it was going to end. I've done business in this country and never knowing what a peaceful time to be.
How long have things been quiet?
Well, the war ended in 2009. It's been 8 years. I think it takes time for things to happen. Things have happened. The city's not overgrown. We're not overpopulated. Oceans are still clean.
Whatever the underlying problems were, do you think they are being addressed or will be addressed?
I think they are being addressed. Maybe a bit slow, but I think you'll find a difference. So the world has changed, and it's great to see stuff like this.
Evening fell upon the small village of Fat Hopes. Suddenly, they heard a noise that filled them with dread. There was, honestly, such a culture of fear. An incredible amount of self-censorship. We had death squads, people, journalists, so many being disappeared. This kind of white van phenomenon where, you know, your loved ones were taken from you and you never heard from them again. There's still so many of those cases going on, and just a real feeling of fear.
From 1983 until 2009, Sri Lanka's bloody civil war divided the island in two, splitting the country along religious lines. Buddhist Sinhalese majority in the south versus Hindu Tamil minority in the north. Years of mistreatment and suppression led to the formation of the LTTE, or Liberation Tamil Tigers of Ilam, and their campaign to seek an independent state. The conflict ended in 2009, but an enormous number of internally displaced persons, or IDPs as they're referred to, remain in refugee camps.
Ladies and gentlemen, appearing now, and before it is too late, the traveling circus of refugees.
Colombo native Tracy Hall Singer is the founder of Mind Adventures Theater Company. Not long ago, to even talk politics, let alone stage a play deemed controversial, could be dangerous.
The play that you've been doing, it came from a book, The Boy Who
Speaks in Numbers by Mike Maslamani. It was first performed in November 2009.
Controversial, would you say?
Little. The play is about internally displaced people. After the end of the war, we had over 300,000 people in camps. The largest one of them was built to house 100,000 people, but ended up housing 227,000 people. Tents that were designed for maybe 5 people to be in had 10 to 15 people in them. There were no toilets in the camp. There were just these big pits. Living conditions for these people was intolerable. There are some communities, Anthony, in this country that have been displaced for 25 years. That means since the 80s, they haven't had a home.
Hurry up! Don't waste my time. What's in the bag?
It's just some clothes, madam.
Can't take anything inside the camp. Search this. Hurry up, next.
The play was staged at a time when all this was so raw for us. And there is no way to speak directly about what happened. I think it's still very difficult, not just for us, but for people to acknowledge that these terrible things were done to part of our community and our people.
Was this a perilous thing to do, and how was it received at the time?
You know, I didn't think about whether it was perilous or not, and that's probably bad on me because I involved all these other people. That scene is done, we're moving on. For me, the important thing was making sure that in whatever form it got out there, the plays out there and it reminds people that this happened.
We found the person responsible for trying to poison the minds of all you good people with these lies. She was sleeping amongst you, living amongst you. And there are many others like her. Let this be a lesson to you all. This is how we deal with traitors. Take her away.
No. No.
So, are things getting better?
I would say in one sense, we're not so afraid. You're not afraid to speak out. But also, I wouldn't say everything is wonderful. It's not. I think things are slowly being pushed, but it's too slow.
So, 20 years from now, are you optimistic, pessimistic? What do you think?
Sri Lanka, formerly known as Ceylon, was once the crown jewel of the spice trade. Its cloves, cardamom, pepper, nutmeg, mace, ginger, cinnamon, chilies, and curry, the envy of the world. These spices built empires.
Wow.
This is basically chicken curry.
Ah, very nice.
And then you have a potato that is spicy.
Right.
Then you have the beetroot. And this is one of the traditional sambals of Sri Lanka.
Right.
Kumar Lopez is a Tamil who works for the Sri Lankan Press Institute. We sit down for lunch at a local rice and curry joint.
So last time I was here was 9 years ago. Things have changed a lot.
I think, yes. I think the fact that you are able to eat today without even thinking that there could be a bomb that could go off at any moment.
Right.
It's itself is a bigger piece that you could expect for. But I believe that the piece can go to another stage, another level. In the mindset of those who have been impacted by the war, I think there needs to be further work to be done.
After World War II, the British left Sri Lanka. Over time, the Buddhist Sinhalese majority both excluded and repressed the mostly Hindu Tamil minority, channeling populist fervor to turn discrimination into law.
What is the generally accepted underlying reasons for the conflict in the first place?
The main cause or the main objective was to have a separate land for the Tamils. The underlying reason for that being there were discrimination, there were racism, and that basically brought them to the stage.
By 1983, the situation reached its boiling point. The LTTE began waging what would become a 25-year guerrilla war before government forces crushed them in a brutal final offensive.
I mean, the war was won militarily. Is everybody speaking now?
I think the underlying objective of the present government is definitely to bring about lasting peace. They have actually encouraged some of the business entities to go and invest in the north to give job opportunities. So peace is something that everybody is looking for.
So I'll be taking the train to Jaffna shortly. This is a big deal.
Oh, it was not running probably for the last 30 years.
Whoa, hasn't been running for 30 years.
It cannot be running for at least the minimum 20 years.
Because of the conflict?
Because of the conflict.
Wow.
With the war over, Sri Lankans can now travel freely across their country, all the way north to Jaffna. Last time, we couldn't go there. Today, we will. Early morning, Colombo Station. The platforms bustle with a mix of commuters, long-distance travelers, and the occasional tourist. Breaking free from Colombo's gravitational pull, the landscape opens up. Second and third class compartments host a mix of people, smells, and slices of life. Commuters get on at one station, off at another. Others, like me, are in for the long haul, 10 hours to Jaffna. That the Jaffna Queen runs at all is a symbolic move towards reunification. As the fight for an independent Tamil state in Sri Lanka's north intensified, the LTTE destroyed these tracks. For the last 2 decades of the war, Jaffna was all but cut off from the rest of the world. The LTTE, unable to match the military might of the Sri Lankan army, fought their war by other means, every means they deemed necessary. Acts of terrorism, suicide bombings, political assassinations brought government retaliation, and collective punishment of an equally terrible kind, and enormous in scale. The North suffered massive bombardments of civilian areas. Hundreds of thousands of Tamils ended up in refugee camps. By the time it was over, war crimes had been committed on both sides, those caught in the middle paying the ultimate toll. In the final weeks alone, at least 40,000 people were killed in a war the outside world knew little of. Nearing the end of the line, weary passengers await to find themselves in a different world. Out the window, the air is thick with the smell of salt and sea. Jaffna is about as far north as you can go without hitting India. This is the homeland of Sri Lanka's Tamil ethnic minority, and during the Civil War, base of the LTTE Tamil Tigers. Remnants of the conflict are hard to miss. But on any given day down by the coast, the fish market buzzes, a hive of activity and commerce. Fresh product comes in, deals are made, money changes hands, life goes on.
Initially, before the war, the North and East contributed 40% of the GDP.
And now?
3%. So there were so many industries here, everything was destroyed. There was no electricity for a long time. We had a coconut farm here, about 100 acres, and it was completely destroyed during the war. There is not even a single tree without a bullet hole.
Like many Sri Lankan Tamils, Jana was born here, but with considerable regret, spent much of his life abroad.
Yeah, I mean, the fighting has stopped.
Absolutely, I mean, that's true.
What's changed?
A lot of things have been rebuilt. Slowly now they are focusing on rebuilding infrastructure. They are renovating all these ponds and lagoons, and now slowly business is thriving in this part of the country.
The underlying discontent, the given reasons for the war, is there a sense that those problems are being addressed?
The war was very brutal, and people, after 30 years, everybody is tired of war. We have a very affected population. There are about 30,000 war widows, like close to 25,000 orphan children, about 15,000 people who were landmine victims. From the government side, they are still a bit scared that there may be war popping up again. But slowly now they are addressing issues like employment-wise, opportunities-wise, and there are a lot of occupied lands. Now they are slowly giving it back.
So hopeful.
Yeah, I see the progress. What I see here is the human resilience. Like, you know, after going through this war for 30 years, how quickly people here can rebuild.
So what's happening today? First of all, where are we?
This is a Kali temple.
And Kali is?
Kali is a destroyer of evil. People go and pray and have Kali temples in villages because it destroys evil power.
Both good and bad?
Yes.
Protector?
Protector, destroyer.
And destroyer.
Yes. Because Kali is also known for courage and valor. Like when people go to war and things like that, they go and pray to Kali to give them the confidence and the courage to go and fight.
After decades of cultural suppression, Tamils take great pride in their customs, traditions, and religious festivals. Around here, the Madai festival is the most auspicious day of the year for Hindus to balance their spiritual debts. Believers show devotion through suffering, enduring acts of great pain and hardship called cavities, or the burden dance. Cavities can take many forms. You can make a pilgrimage to the main temple on shoes made of nails, or roll there on the ground, often for a distance of several kilometers. These are some of the ways believers express gratitude to Kali or implore her for help. Ritualistic body piercing is another such expression.
It's a very interesting thing. They prepare for a long time. 28 days they fast, and they condition themselves mentally. And when they come to the temple, and there's a special ceremony which takes place, and they kind of chant and play drums and everything, so you get into a trance.
greater the pain, the greater your dedication to your higher power. Well, let's just say viewer discretion is advised. The islands off Jaffna's coast were holdouts during the Tamil resistance and saw heavy fighting. The people who remained, like the landscape itself, bear heavy scars. This was a conflict that left more than 80,000 women widowed.
Well, the whole island is very quiet. I mean, I do not see shops filled with people or children playing in yards or people in fields. It felt very, very, very quiet. Is that a good quiet or a bad quiet?
So it's an area that has been severely depopulated, as you would have noticed when you came here.
Now, when you say depopulated, people fled, people were killed, people were disappeared.
இங்க இருந்த ஆட்கள் யுத்த காலத்துல இங்க இருந்து வெளியே போனாங்களே 1991ல இங்க அதுக்கு earlier-ஆக 22,000 people signed here this village. Within 3 hours in 1991 the entire area was evacuated of its population. People have only started coming back to live here relatively recently. A very small percentage of the original population that has come back here.
In Tamil society, as in much of the world, women have few rights. No official system to look after or support them. The North Ceylon Community Project seeks to address that problem, providing a home and training for women who might otherwise be living on the street. Gowrie is from this area and one of the organization's benefactors.
Culturally, a woman who's a widow who has lost her husband is a total social outcast and become terribly vulnerable to all other types of abuse because they have no source of income, they have no one to protect them, no one to look after them. So this organization has grown to be a safe haven.
Now, provide food, shelter, job training, some road to financial independence.
When they come here, they are given a place to stay. There is a group of women who come here for daily work. And there are different projects that are skills training projects for the women. And within this space, they're given the strength, the skills, and the opportunities to change their lives.
போரால பாதிக்கப்பட்ட காலத்தில் ஒரு ஆள் மட்டும் உழைச்சி குடும்பம் நடத்த இல்லாமல் கஷ்டப்பட்ட பிள்ளை அப்படியான ஃபேமிலியை தெரிவு எடுத்துருந்தாங்க. அவர்களையும் ஒரு உழைக்கிற கைக்கு கொண்டு வந்தால் வீட்டில் குடும்ப அமைதி ஏற்படும். அந்த வகையில் பெனக்க மாற்றத்தை கொண்டு வந்திருக்கிறோம் அப்படி தெரிவு செய்ததன் காரணத்தில்.
So why stay? I mean, it's an obvious question. So many have left. Why stay here?
Where you come from is very important. So I think in this culture, it is about where your roots are, where your family history is.
What about these kids? When they're 16, 17, 18?
They are going to finish their education and then they're going to be looking for jobs. And those jobs are not materializing in these areas. So in the past, a number of young people would find ways and means, often very risky ways and means, to leave Sri Lanka and go abroad. So unless there is some really serious efforts to revive economic activities and investment, life is going to be very tough for these kids.
Ask anyone in Sri Lanka where to find the best food and they'll say, nobody cooks as well as Auntie. And it's true, trust me. Often possessing the strength of 10 men, Sri Lankan aunties are a force to be reckoned with. Jaffna crab curry might be, for me anyway, the holy grail of Sri Lankan cuisine. Spicy and fiery in a cuisine known for being spicy and fiery already. During the war years, it was hard to get crabs like this, and still is today, the majority being exported to other parts of the country and abroad. But in this time capsule of a home, it might as well still be 1953. I've been invited here by Dr. Ravi, his sister Jiva, and their beloved auntie, best cook in the family.
So there we have it. Welcome to Jaffna, welcome to paradise.
Thank you. Thank you. These are delicious, by the way.
Yeah, great, aren't they?
Wow. Are they toasted and then...
They're sort of
With yogurt.
dipped in yogurt, dried, sun-dried.
Wow. It's a beautiful home.
Thank you very much.
Built in the 30s?
In the 30s, sort of late British period.
How is it that this remained in the family, that you were able to hang on, that you're still here?
So during the war, the Tigers lived here, and then the Sri Lankan army lived here for a little while. But my father kept coming back here, making sure that he made his presence known.
I think the thing is that it has a lot of, family stories. So even a lot of my cousins have a great attachment to this house. Can I get you some more crab curry?
Please, thank you. Thank you, so beautiful, thank you. So delicious. I've been to a lot of places just after really awful conflicts. Some nations, there's a simmering and boiling sense of injustice, rage, humiliation, particularly when you have large groups of young people unemployed wandering around. Do you think that there's any possibility that if everybody doesn't get the recipe right, that we could see, another generation of adversaries?
Generally speaking, I think people want to get on with it. Because my generation, they certainly don't want to go back to that. I think the generation that might are the 5-6-year-olds at school now would have forgotten the horrors of war. And you go back to your AK-47, my 6 months in the sun.
I think I am optimistic, but I think that one of the first things that we need to build, is to build the trust amongst the people. There are lots of IDPs still in camps, and if they could be given back their lands, that might be useful to also jumpstart the economy.
It should be a paradise, yes? I mean, look out the window.
Yeah, absolutely.
Potential is incredible.
So, 20 years from now, are you optimistic, pessimistic? What do you think?
Have to be optimistic. You have to be. Empathy is everything. It's part of what makes us human. That's where we have to connect and understand each other. And it's all very idealistic. I know that.
For some people, the hurts are too deep. For some people, it's too late for forgiveness or trust or, you have, for example, communities that have been displaced 13 times over the past 25 years.
That's what you call a breeding ground for...
Trouble.
For trouble.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka has been through and endured a lot, far more than most. It's a lot to ask of any place to put aside such things as hate, fear, a desire for revenge. It might still be too much, but there is indeed, it appears, reason to hope.
Hi, Tony. Hey, how you doing, man? Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you. Greasing up the, what's that, grouper? No.
Yeah.
You put it on banana leaf, is it?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Any fishermen here?
Yeah, they're all fishermen.
Okay, so what happened during the war? Could you fish?
Yeah, because
straight through.
They only have to get the permission, and then they're limited for 1 kilometer.
Did people feel safe anywhere to do what they did?
Anytime, nobody felt safe. Curfew was installed here, 4 o'clock, otherwise you can be shot. These people have to make a living. They have to catch fish to feed their home, feed their family. So they have to go.
All right. Hey, what's up, bro? What's up, young man? Most of the world, when you've been through a struggle like this, so painful and so vicious, usually at the end of the day, people cannot say, look, I'm exhausted. Nobody wins here. We all want to live in a world where we can take care of our children. Are we at that point in Sri Lanka?
Just now, people never beg, but they will fight. Please look at the future. Don't let the young people again to go and take up arms. Invest, develop, give them some guidance. These people that ran a war, these guys have had torpedoes, submarines.
Ingenuity.
They were also keen about destroying the war, terrorism, destroying the terrorism. They never value the strength of the people.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that how this ends? That's the story now.
But it's a little depressing, no?
How about a message of hope? Yes. Yes.
All right,
I don't want to
let's
miss
talk
peace.
about it. Let's talk about it.
What's
Okay, let's go. Okay.
Right.
And then one day, the civil war of lies came to an abrupt end.
Harsh question.
Yeah.
Why should Americans watching this? Why should we give a shit? Why should people care about Sri Lanka?
I guess I don't know why Americans should care. I just want Sri Lankans to care. The story has to go on, and for it to go on, we have to have some hope.
Citizens were asked for what they most desired. And that is how peace came to the island of short memories. The warring parties fast realized that it didn't matter who won or who lost, because in the end, they were all on the same side.